Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Stop what you are doing. Listen to this story. This is not a movie. This is not a dream. In New York City, the biggest and most famous city in America, something impossible just happened. A new mayor was elected. His name is Zohran Mamdani. He is only 34 years old. This makes him the youngest mayor of New York in 100 years. But that is not the most shocking part. Zohran Mamdani was born in Kampala, Uganda, in Africa. He is the first African-born leader of New York City. And he is a Muslim. He is the first Muslim mayor in the city's long history. His election has sent a message to the entire world. But it has also sent a very strong message to one man, the President of the United States, Donald Trump. These two men are complete opposites. President Trump believes in power, control, and building walls. Zohran Mamdani believes in equality, community, and helping everyone. He is a strong supporter of immigrants. He says immigrants are the heart of New York. He says they are the strength of New York. The moment he won, Zohran Mamdani stood in front of his supporters. He did not just celebrate, he made a promise. He declared that New York City would become a fortress, a strong, safe place. He said it would be a fortress against the policies of Donald Trump's government. This is a story of two New Yorks. The New York of billionaires and towers, and the New York of workers and immigrants. This is a story of two Americas, the America of Donald Trump and the new America of Zohran Mamdani. How did this happen? How did a young boy from Uganda become the leader of the most famous city on earth? And what is his plan to change New York? Let's find out. From a boy in Uganda to the mayor of New York. Zohran Mamdani's story begins in 1991. He was born in Kampala, the capital city of Uganda. He was born into a very special family. It was a family of big ideas. His father is Mahmoud Mamdani. His father is a world-famous university professor. He is a writer and a thinker. He studies history and politics. His mother is Mira Nair. His mother is a famous film director. She tells beautiful and powerful stories about people around the world. From the time he was a very small boy, his parents taught him two things. First, they taught him to be curious, to always ask questions, to read and to learn. Second, they taught him to care about people, to see the world through the eyes of others, to understand their pain and their hopes. This was his first education. When Zohran was 7 years old, his life changed completely. His family moved. They did not just move to a new house, they moved across the world to New York City. Imagine this. You are 7 years old. You leave the warm, green city of Kampala. You arrive in the biggest, loudest, and fastest city in the world. It was a big change for a young boy. The buildings in New York were taller than mountains. The sounds of the city, the sirens and the subways never stopped. And the people, there were people from every country, people speaking languages he had never heard. At first, it was very hard. It was not easy for him to understand English. The other children at school spoke very fast. He did not have friends. He felt different. He felt like an outsider. But Zohran learned quickly. He learned the language. He learned the rules of the city. And slowly, he began to love New York. He loved the energy. He loved the mix of people. He saw that New York was a city of dreams. It was a place where a family from Uganda could come and build a new life. But he also saw something else. He saw that New York was a very hard city. It was a city where many people struggled. They worked all day, but they were still poor. He saw people who were afraid of losing their homes. He saw people who were treated badly because of the color of their skin or the religion they followed. Growing up as an immigrant gave Zohran a special way of seeing the world. He understood what it means to feel different. He knew what it was like to be the new person in the room. He knew what it meant to work hard just to be equal. This shaped him. In his school years, he started to ask big questions. He asked his parents. He asked his teachers. The questions would not leave his mind. He would ask, why? Why do some people in this city have so much? They have giant apartments and expensive cars. And why do other people have so little? They have to sleep on the street. Why do some voices matter more than others? Why does the news listen to rich people, but not to the workers? These questions stayed in his mind. They followed him as he grew older. When Zohran went to university, he decided to study African history. He wanted to understand his own story. He wanted to understand how history, how the past, shapes our lives and our choices today. He became active in student groups. He was not the loudest person in the room, but he was one of the strongest. He joined groups that spoke about human rights. They talked about social change. He went to protests. He helped organize community events. He learned how to speak in public. He learned how to argue for the things he believed in. His friends from that time say he was always kind. He was calm. He did not get angry. And he always listened. He listened to people who agreed with him, and he listened to people who disagreed with him. After he finished his studies, Zohran did not take a job at a big company. He did not go to Wall Street. He went to Queens. Queens is one of the most diverse places on earth. It is a part of New York City where immigrants from hundreds of countries live together. Zohran started to work with local community groups. His job was simple. He helped people. He helped families who were about to lose their homes. He helped them find legal support. He helped low-income families find housing. He helped people find food when they were hungry. He saw every day how hard life could be. He saw how the system was broken. He met immigrants who worked 12 hours a day, but they were still afraid. They were afraid of being deported. They were afraid because they did not speak English well. They were afraid because they did not have official documents. These experiences made him angry, but it was a quiet anger. It was an anger that turned into action. He became even more determined. He knew he had to do more than just help one person at a time. He had to change the system. In 2020, Zohran Mamdani entered politics. He ran for New York State legislator. It was his first official step into government. Many people did not know his name, but he worked hard. He knocked on doors. He talked to people in the street. And he won. As a legislator, he spoke for the people he knew. He spoke for the workers. He spoke for the students. He spoke for all the people who felt invisible. His belief was simple, but powerful. New York should belong to everyone, not just the rich, not just the powerful, everyone. Every part of his life built the leader he is today. His childhood in Uganda, his parents' big ideas, his feeling of being an outsider, his work helping poor families in Queens. All of it helped shape his political vision. He learned a very important lesson. He learned that leadership is not about power. It is not about being the boss. He learned that leadership is about service. It is about helping people. It is about listening. And now, as the 34-year-old mayor of New York City, he carries those lessons with him every single day. The unexpected victory. Zohran Mamdani's campaign for mayor was not a normal political campaign. It was the opposite. In New York, when you run for mayor, you usually need a few things. You need millions of dollars. You need big sponsors like real estate companies or banks.
You need the support of the Democratic Party leaders. Zohran Mamdani had none of these. He had very little money. He had no big sponsors. He had only a few friends inside the party.
All the political experts, the people on TV and in the newspapers, said he had no chance. They said he was too young. They said his ideas were too radical. They said he could not win. They laughed at him. But Zohran believed in something different. He believed that honest ideas and the support of the people could be stronger than money. His main message was simple, so simple that everyone could understand it. He said he wanted a city where everyone can afford to live. That's it. He did not use big political words. He spoke about real life. He spoke about rent. He spoke about jobs. He spoke about transportation. He talked about the things that touch people's lives every single day. While other candidates gave long, careful, boring speeches, Zohran spoke directly. He spoke from his heart. He said, "I know what it means to struggle. I am not a billionaire. I am not from a famous political family. I am an immigrant. I have seen the struggle in my community, and I want to change it." His biggest competitors were famous. They were powerful. One was Andrew Cuomo. Cuomo was the former governor of New York. He was famous, experienced, and had a lot of money. He was running as an independent. The other was Curtis Sliwa. Sliwa was a Republican. He was very well known for his radio shows and for starting the Guardian Angels group. Both of these men were older. They were experienced. They had strong political networks. They were the serious candidates. Zohran Mamdani had something they did not have. He had the energy of young voters. His campaign was smart. They did not have money for big TV ads, so they used social media. They used it better than anyone. Zohran made short videos on TikTok. He shared daily updates on Instagram. His posts were not slick or polished. They were real. They were friendly. He posted videos of himself walking through the streets of New York. He showed himself eating at small local food carts. He posted videos of himself talking with workers, students, and nurses. He was not afraid to be himself. Young people saw this. They were tired of fake politicians who only showed up at election time. They felt that Zohran was real. They felt he was one of them. They began to share his videos. A friend sent a video to a friend. A daughter showed a video to her mother. His message spread across the city, from phone to phone, like a digital fire. Zohran also went to small community meetings. He went to churches. He went to high schools. He went to apartment buildings. And he did something amazing. He listened more than he spoke. People in Queens and Brooklyn, in the Bronx and Manhattan, saw that he was different. He was not just giving a speech. He was having a conversation. They felt that he truly understood their problems. Slowly, something began to happen. Volunteers started to appear. They came from everywhere. They were students. They were nurses. They were delivery drivers. They were teachers. They were artists. They were people who had never been in politics before. They believed in his message. They helped him print flyers. They knocked on thousands of doors. They talked to their neighbors. They built a people's army. Election day was full of tension. The news channels said it was one of the closest races in New York history. The old experts still thought Cuomo or Sliwa would win. When the final results came in, the city was quiet. And then the news broke. Zohran Mamdani had won. He won with 48% of the votes. Andrew Cuomo had 39%. Sliwa was far behind. The result shocked everyone. The experts were speechless. The newspapers did not know what to write. Some called it the biggest upset in modern history. Others called it the rise of a new left-wing star. That night in the streets of Brooklyn, people celebrated. It was not a quiet celebration. People were dancing. Music was playing. People were waving flags from Uganda, from Puerto Rico, from all over the world. Young people were shouting his name. For them, this victory was not just about one man. It was about hope. It showed that politics could be different. It showed that politics could belong to ordinary people again. Zohran Mamdani's win became a symbol of change in American politics. It showed that a young, immigrant leader with little money but with strong, honest ideas could beat the most powerful people. For many, it was the start of something new, a new voice for a new generation.
Zohran Mamdani is now the mayor, and he has big dreams for New York City. His vision is not small. It is a huge, bold plan to completely change the city. The first and most important thing is his immigration policy. This policy is a direct challenge to the Donald Trump administration. It is the core of his fortress idea. His policy focuses on one thing: protecting the rights of immigrants, all immigrants. He wants immigrants to have a stronger voice in New York. Mamdani says, "This is a city of immigrants. It was built by immigrants. It is run by immigrants. You are not visitors. You are New Yorkers." He also says that everyone can take part in politics. He wants to give non-citizens who live in New York the right to vote in local elections. He says, "This democracy is yours too. You live here. You work here. You should have a voice." Most importantly, Mamdani strongly opposes federal deportation efforts. He has promised to fight deportation strongly. He has said that the New York City Police, the NYPD, will not help federal agents like ICE find or arrest undocumented immigrants. He wants immigrants to live safely. He wants them to have fair jobs. He wants them to feel included in the city, not to live in fear. He says the city must take care of all its people, not only the rich and powerful. This is his #1 goal. His main goal is to make life easier and fairer for everyone. To do this, he has several big, bold plans. His first plan: make all public buses in New York City free. He believes that transportation should be a right, not a privilege. He says you should not have to be rich to move around your own city. Many low-income workers and students spend a lot of money every month just to get to work or school. Free buses, he says, will help them save that money. It will put money back in their pockets. It will also make the city cleaner by reducing the number of cars on the street. His second big idea: childcare for all, universal childcare. Zohran says that parents, especially mothers, should not have to choose between their job and their family. In New York, childcare is extremely expensive. It can cost more than rent. He wants every child in New York to have a safe, good place to learn and play from the time they are babies, and he wants it to be free. This, he believes, will help families. It will help children get a good start in life, and it will help more people, especially women, join the workforce and earn money. His third big idea: control the rent. In New York, housing is the biggest problem. It is too expensive. Many people pay more than half of their income just for rent. They are always one paycheck away from losing their home. Zohran wants to stop this. He wants to freeze rent prices for many apartments. He wants to build thousands of new homes that are truly affordable. He says, a home is not just a way for a landlord to make money. A home is a human right. No one should be afraid of losing their home because of money. His fourth big plan: change the economy. He wants to raise the minimum wage in New York City to $25 an hour by the year 2030.
He says that no one who works a full-time job should live in poverty. The current minimum wage is not enough. He says $25 an hour is a living wage. He believes higher wages will make workers stronger. It will help them afford the high cost of the city. It will help the whole city grow together. Of course, many people ask the big question. This sounds great, but how will you pay for all of this? Free buses? Free childcare? Where will the money come from? Zohran's answer is very simple and very controversial. His answer: raise taxes on the rich and on big corporations. He believes that the people and companies who have earned the most money from New York City should give more back to support the city. He wants a wealth tax on billionaires. We can build a city that works for people, not just for billionaires, he says. As you can imagine, the reactions to this plan are very strong. Many young people and working-class voters love his ideas. They finally feel that someone is listening to them. They say his vision is honest, it is hopeful. For them, Zohran represents a new kind of leadership. He is someone who understands their struggle and truly cares.
But not everyone agrees. Not at all. His critics, especially business leaders and real estate owners, are very angry. They are also very scared. They say his plans are not dreams, they are nightmares. They say his ideas are too idealistic. They say they are financially risky. Some business leaders have warned that higher taxes will push companies to leave the city. They say, we will just move our offices to Florida or Texas, where taxes are low. They say New York cannot afford to spend so much money. They say these plans will lead to debt and destroy the city's economy. Zohran Mamdani remains calm. He listens to the criticism. He does not shout. He answers with confidence. He says, every great change sounds impossible at first. They said Social Security was impossible. They said the 40-hour work week was impossible. They said ending child labor was impossible. But if we work together, and if we are brave, we can make it happen. His words inspire millions of young people. They want a city that is fairer. They want a city that is kinder. For them, Zohran Mamdani's New York is not a dream. It is a future worth fighting for. The clash with President Trump. The fight did not take long to start. It began on election night. Right after he won, Zohran Mamdani stood on a stage in Brooklyn. He spoke to a large cheering crowd. His first words were not thank you. His first words were not about celebration. His first words were about responsibility. He said, if someone, anyone, abuses their power, we have a duty to stand up. We must take that power away. Everyone in the crowd knew exactly who he was talking about. He was talking about the President of the United States, Donald Trump. It was a bold, direct challenge. Most new mayors thank their team. They talk about fixing roads or improving schools. Mamdani went straight into a national political battle. He spoke about justice. He spoke about truth. He spoke about courage. The crowd cheered loudly. They were ready. It was clear that a new kind of leader had arrived in New York. The message traveled from Brooklyn to Washington, D.C. very fast. Within hours, President Trump reacted. He did not make a phone call. He did not release a statement. He went to his favorite platform, Truth Social. He posted only 2 words. It begins. His message was short, but it was strong. It was a clear sign. It showed that he was ready for a fight. The battle for America's future was about to be fought between these 2 men. These 2 men are from the same city, New York, but their ideas could not be more different. Trump believes in nationalism. He believes in America first. He believes in strong control at the border. He believes in business power. He often says that success comes from strength, power, and competition. Mamdani, on the other hand, believes in equality. He believes in social democracy.
He believes in helping immigrants. He often says that a city should not be measured by how many billionaires it has. He says a city should be measured by how many people can live a good, safe, and happy life. This difference in ideas quickly turned into a real conflict. When Mayor Mamdani started to announce his social programs, like free buses and health care for immigrants, Trump's team in Washington fought back. The White House said they would review all federal support for New York City. This means they would look for ways to cut money. Later, Trump himself said, "If New York wants to go against America, if they want to be a fortress, maybe we can take their money back. Let's see how they do without it." His words sounded like a threat. He was threatening to punish the 8 million people of New York City. Mayor Mamdani did not stay silent. He did not back down. He held a press conference. He stood in front of the cameras, and he replied. His voice was calm, but it was firm. He said, "Mr. President, you do not give New York City gifts. You take our money. New York sends billions and billions of dollars more to the federal government in Washington every year than we get back. We are not asking for gifts. We are asking for respect." He was not just defending himself. He was defending his city. To prepare for the possible actions from Washington, Mayor Mamdani announced a new plan. He said he would hire 200 new city lawyers. These lawyers would have one job: to defend New York's rights. These lawyers would work on housing cases. They would work on education cases. They would work on immigration cases. They would fight any new federal rule that tried to hurt the people of New York.
"We will not allow any government in Washington or anywhere else to harm our communities," Mamdani said. "We will fight you in court, and we will win." Political experts began to talk about what this fight could mean. This was not a normal political argument. This was something new. Some analysts on the news called New York City the heart of the resistance. They said the city could become a symbol of opposition. It could be the one place in America that was brave enough to stand up to Trump's national policies. Others were worried. They warned that this constant conflict might hurt the city. It could hurt the economy. It could make things worse for ordinary people. But still, many citizens in New York support Mamdani. They see him as brave. They see him as independent. They are proud that their mayor is not afraid to speak up. He is not afraid to fight, even against the most powerful man in the country. For them, this clash is not just about politics. It is not just about money. It is about the soul of New York. And so, the battle lines are drawn. Trump in the White House in Washington, Mamdani in City Hall in New York. 2 men, 1 nation, and 2 very, very different dreams for the future of America. A city divided, but hopeful. New York City has always been a place of many different people. It is a city of many cultures, many colors, and many languages. Around 40% of the people who live in New York City are people of color. Millions of New Yorkers are immigrants. Many were born in another country. If you walk down a street in Queens, you can hear hundreds of languages spoken every day. From the food we eat, to the music we hear, to the fashion we wear, New York is a mix of the whole world. But even in a city that is so diverse, opinions are divided. Zohran Mamdani's election has divided the city. Some people strongly support him. They love Mayor Mamdani's new ideas. They believe his left-wing policies will make life fairer for everyone. They are excited. They see his plans for free buses, affordable homes, and higher wages, and they feel hope. They feel that for the first time, the city is working for them, not just for the rich. A nurse from the Bronx said, "I work 12-hour days. I take the bus. Free buses? That saves me money I can use for my kids. Mamdani understands my life." However, other people are very worried. They fear his new policies. They fear that higher taxes will hurt small businesses. A woman who owns a small restaurant in Manhattan said, "I am not a billionaire. I am a small business owner.
If my taxes go up, I will have to close my restaurant. I will have to fire my workers. They fear that his plans will drive investors and big companies away. Some business leaders have warned that companies might leave New York. They might move to states with lower taxes, like Florida or Texas. We love New York City, but we also need stability. We need to know that the rules will not change tomorrow. These new policies are too risky. There is a real fear that too much spending could create more debt. This could make the city weaker in the long run. The city is divided. The supporters are very passionate. The critics are very afraid. Still, many young people continue to stand behind Mamdani. For them, he is more than a mayor. He is a symbol. He represents justice. He represents progress. They see him as a new kind of leader. He is honest, he is open, and he is not afraid to speak the truth. He listens to us, said a college student from Brooklyn. He comes to our neighborhoods. He is not hiding in a big office. He gives us hope. He makes us feel like our voices finally matter. Several newspapers, and not just in New York, have called him the face of a new America. They say his story is the perfect American story. An immigrant boy from Uganda, a Muslim, a person of color. He came here with his family. He worked hard, and now he is the mayor of the greatest city in the world. This story inspires millions of people all across the country. Even people outside New York follow his journey online. They watch his videos. They are cheering for him. But Mayor Mamdani's path is not easy. The city is still facing many big problems. There is a growing budget deficit. This means the city is spending more money than it's making. There is not enough housing. Thousands of people are homeless, and the political divisions are very deep. Some neighborhoods remain poor and unsafe. Some voters are tired of politics. They are tired of big promises from politicians. They just want their streets to be clean and their children to be safe. Even with all these problems, hope remains.
Many New Yorkers, even the ones who are worried, believe that Mamdani can bring unity. They hope he can bring trust back to the city. They see him as someone who truly cares about people. They see that he is trying to listen to all sides. New York is a city full of challenges. It always has been. But it is also a city full of energy. It is full of dreams. It is full of courage. And as Zohran Mamdani often says, if we stand together, if we work together, there is nothing this city cannot do. What his win means for America. Zohran Mamdani's victory in New York City is not just a local story. It is a national story. It is an international story. It shows that America is changing. His win is a clear sign. It shows that young, diverse leaders are rising. They are rising all across the country. People from many different backgrounds, people who are not rich, white, or old, are now stepping into politics. They have new ideas. They have strong voices. For the Democratic Party, Mamdani's success gives new energy to its progressive side. This is the left-wing part of the party. He speaks for the people who feel forgotten. He speaks for workers. He speaks for immigrants. He speaks for young voters. These people want a system that is fairer. They are tired of the old way of doing things. His way of leading is open, honest, and people-centered. It is very different from the old style of politics, which was full of private meetings and deals with rich donors. Many Democrats say he represents the future of their party. But his victory also creates a big problem. It creates tension with President Donald Trump, who is now in his second term. Trump's government focuses on business growth. It focuses on border control. It focuses on national power and a strong military. Mamdani's New York, in contrast, talks about equality. It talks about community. It talks about shared responsibility and helping the poor.
The two visions are in direct conflict. They cannot both exist at the same time. Some experts are calling this moment the rise of urban opposition. Urban means city. They say that the big cities in America, like New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago, may stand together. They may form a line of resistance against Trump's national policies. One political analyst said, if New York resists, other cities may follow. This could change politics. This could shape a new kind of political map. It is not just one state against another. It is the big cities leading the push for social change against the federal government. Across the country, Mamdani has already become a symbol. For immigrants, he shows that your background does not limit your dreams. He proves that you can come from anywhere and still lead. For young people, he proves that politics does not have to be corrupt or boring. He proves that politics can be honest. It can be full of purpose. For minorities, for Muslims, for people of color, he is a sign of respect. He is a sign of representation. Seeing him as mayor makes them feel seen too. The idea of New York as a fortress of progress is spreading fast. People are talking about the city as a special place, a place where fairness, freedom, and compassion still matter. You can see posters with Mamdani's face on walls in universities and cafes. You see them in cities far away from New York. Social media is full of messages. They say, change begins in New York. Still, the challenges remain. The road ahead for Mayor Mamdani will not be easy. He must balance hope with reality. He must balance his big dreams with the city's budget. He must lead a city that is divided. But many people believe he is ready for this task. His calm style, his simple words, and his strong, clear vision continue to win hearts. He is winning hearts not just in New York, but across the nation. As one journalist wrote, Zohran Mamdani is not just the mayor of a city, he is a sign of change. Another added, maybe the future of America begins again, as it has many times before, in New York City. And for the millions of people watching his story, that idea feels true. In the heart of the world's busiest city, a young leader from Uganda is reminding America what it means to dream again. He is reminding America what it means to believe again. Thank you for watching this story on English AZ. Zohran Mamdani's journey is just beginning. The whole world is watching New York City. What will happen next? Will his bold plans work? Or will the fight with Washington be too much? We will be here to follow the story. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more clear, simple English stories. We'll see you next time.